This is my cat Neko, and as per viewer request, in today's video, we have him choose the parts for a gaming PC, which went well. Yeah, come inside. Now, while Neko figures out what thing in the office smells the best, the premise for today's video is very simple. I'm gonna give Neko two options per component category, one good and one less good, after which I'll assemble the resulting abomination and see how it runs. So with that, let's figure out how to get a cat to choose between two things. Now, the first choice is gonna be between the awesome Intel i5-12400F and the significantly less powerful AMD Athlon 200 GE. So yeah, Nikki-chan, are you ready? Okay, Nikki-chan.
Ooh.
I mean, does that constitute as a choice or just random movement?
Oh.
Which one do you want, Nikki-chan?
Maybe he'll like lie down. Yeah, we choose the
Okay,
side
there we go. I mean, I guess we're using the Intel i5-12400F. But that first success, if you could call it that, lulled us into a false sense of security. So now that Neko's chosen an Intel CPU, next he needs to choose the cooler. So the choice is between the loser plastic codpiece stock Intel cooler and this, which is a much better air cooler, the Pure Rock 2FX. It comes with RGB, so you know it's gonna be better. Okay, Nikki-chan, are you ready?
CPU cooler round. Okay. So which one? Nick. You have the pure box.
And after several attempts at hurting a cat, all Neko wanted to do was look behind these two doors, which gave me a great idea. So apparently all Neko wants to do is go into these two rooms. So we've decided to make it so that the room he goes into is the choice. So in door number 1, we have Be Quiet air cooler. And door number 2, we have loser Intel stock cooler on the floor with a whole bunch of cables. So Nikki-chan, which will you choose? Yeah, Nikki-chan, which will you choose? He's actually making a deliberated choice. What the hell? Yes!
Nice.
Nikki-chan! Now the next decision is gonna be extremely important because it may lead to Neko being disowned by me. He's gonna have to choose between proper dual channel RAM and single channel RAM. Neko, are you ready for this kind of pressure, Baji? So in door number 1, we have dual channel RAM. And in door number 2, we've got single channel RAM. So Nikki-chan, you gotta choose real carefully here, buddy. Okay.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? So we can get him to do one choice.
We can get him to do one at a time.
So we have to do like
Neko.
one selection has to be different each time.
Oh, Neko.
Okay, so how are we gonna have him choose RAM?
Oh, do you know what we do? No, I'm
We
gonna be
close the
big brain
doors.
about it. We close the doors, get him interested in it again.
A few moments later.
Now, closing the doors may have gotten Neko interested again, but it led to some very poor life decisions on his part. Neko really wants the single channel RAM. Do you like single channel RAM? We even gave Neko a chance to reconsider, but after a quick debate, he went back to the single channel RAM. And with that massive disappointment, I guess we've got to carry on. Next up, he gets to choose the graphics card. And he's got a pretty interesting choice, because he gets to choose between a GT 730. I didn't use a GT 710 because I couldn't find one. And this is like a GT 710 but with 30 in the name, so I don't know, I feel like that's better. And then his other choice is gonna be much better. It's an RX 6600. Door number 1, we've got the GT 730, and in door number 2, we've got the RX 6600. So Neko-chan, how will you choose? Neko-chan! What? How does he know? He goes for the bad one every time. So Neko, what do you have to say about your terrible life choices so far?
Ooh. No comment.
Put me down, yeah, no comment. I don't know, man. I'm so disappointed in Neko. Look at that selection. Okay, but next up, he gets to choose the power supply. And he has to choose between this absolute behemoth Dark Power 12, which is, it's basically like the Tom Hanks of power supplies. And his other option is gonna be the cheapest power supply I could find on Amazon like 2 years ago. And this is a 500 watt Cool Max unit, which is really shockingly light. I don't know, this is such a dodgy power supply. But anyway, I'm excited to see Neko choose the dodgy power supply. Which will you choose? I guess the one he meows at, right?
Yeah.
It's the bad power supply.
No way. Nikochan, what did you choose?
Wow, that is an impressive pile, Neko-chan. But next up, we have storage. So he's gonna get to choose between this PCIe Gen 4 NVMe drive and some hard drive I found lying around. So in door number 1, we have random hard drive I found lying around. And in door number 2, we have NVMe drive. I think Neko's very excited about picking this one.
Hey.
Oh, there we go. Finally, in terms of cases, Neko gets to choose between this, the huge Corsair 5000T RGB, or the one that he's already taken a liking to, the Be Quiet 500DX? Yes, the 500DX.
Oh,
Neko-chan, are you ready for this one?
he's torn.
He doesn't know. In door number 1, we have big ass Corsair case. And in door number 2, we have smaller Be Quiet case. Neko, are you ready? It looks like we have a winner! And after getting all of his parts together, it seemed like Neko was quite happy with his choices. Which means I've got to get to building. Now while I build this system, Anna's actually taken Neko home. He's real tuckered out, so he's gonna go have a nap. And when I finish building the system, we'll bring him back and show him his creation. Now straight off the bat, I have a little bit of a concern about Neko's choices here. He happened to choose the biggest case in the world with this power supply, which has very short power cables. So I'm hoping we can figure it out. But yeah, let's get started. Now the motherboard is the one thing I didn't let Neko choose because I didn't have many other options, and he kinda chose it through the CPU choice anyway, so I feel like it counts. Either way, this is a Gigabyte Z690 UDAX DDR4 board. Ah, Neko, I'm so disappointed in you. Oh, that is some good foam. Now, Corsair sent this 5000T over for a video ages ago, and I'm sure this was exactly the kind of build they had in mind for this very expensive case, especially considering that there's a GT730 involved. But anyway, let's finish off Neko's creation. Oh, it's really heavy. Oh. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Although, now comes the most challenging part. We need to hope that the power cables of this power supply are actually going to be able to reach stuff in this case. So, yeah, wish me luck. Wow, this is such a shocking little power supply. It's so light, it feels like there's nothing in it. All we really need to worry about is the motherboard power, which... No, that's not even close. Okay, let's try another way. Maybe we can be complete savages about it and try it up through here. Oh, no way. That actually works. Well, I guess it's got a nice rustic vibe to it. So with that, let's try the CPU power. Yeah, that's not gonna reach. Even from the front, that is not even almost gonna reach. So unfortunately, for the CPU power, we're gonna have to use an extension. Oh yes, there we go. Now it fits easily. And then just one more touch to finish off Neko's majestic creation. Nico, you were so much more interested last time. Don't you want to see? But once Anna put him on top of the system, he slowly started warming to it. And I guess with that, it's time to finally see how his creation runs. Oh, that's a nice power button. Yay, look at that. So much light happening. But my excitement at the fancy RGB was short-lived because, unfortunately, I wasn't getting a video signal out, which made me think the graphics card may have been broken. Yeah, that red LED that it's stuck on, that's the GPU be broken LED. So I'm sorry, Neko, but I'm gonna have to change this out for a different graphics card, unfortunately.
5 minutes later.
Hey, would you look at that? I happen to have another GT 730 lying around, so hopefully this one works. It does! Yay! Wow, clearly starting out at 1080p was a mistake. Even with everything else on low settings, we are barely getting 24 frames per second out of this system. So yeah, it's performing really rough. Although, Neko clearly knew what he was doing. The graphics card is such a bottleneck in this system that the terrible RAM configuration doesn't even get a chance to be a problem. Neko is a real talented system builder, it seems. But with that, let's drop the resolution to 720p and see if we can get a playable result out of the system. Okay, that is way better. We're over 30 frames per second, so it's kind of in the ballpark of being playable. It doesn't look great, but it's fine. You know, this is usable. And the temperatures are pretty good. Neko understood that he didn't need to waste any money on a fancy cooler because the 12400F wasn't going to be doing that much in this system with the GT 730. Let's try one more game. Oh wow, that feels really weird. That's an unusually bad CSGO experience because it's not just like a low frame rate, but there's like a rubber banding to it. Wow, that's a lot better. We're actually above the 40s now. We briefly saw 50 frames per second there. Okay. So, what did we learn in today's video? Well, if you let a cat choose your PC components, you basically end up with one of those eBay Fortnite RGB gaming PCs that are designed to scam kids out of their parents' money. Anyway, that brings me to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, consider watching another one, and until the next video, bye-bye.